All right, today we're gonna be ranking some cards. Production and justice. We're gonna be doing just like last week. We have a couple different categories up here. We're gonna be sharing our opinions on the cards. Each of us gave 8 cards. Each individual card took up one of those 8 slots, and if we had duplicates, we took them out. This was done blindly from the other people, so one list might have more than the other. I believe protection has one more than justice this time around.
Yeah, it looks like a good bit.
Yeah, you didn't have too much overlap. Luke, was there any cards that you specifically thought you wanted to include, but any honorable mentions? Let's put it that way.
Not off the top of my head. When I was scrolling through these, obviously there's the ones that we've always seen hit the battlefield, but there's also a few that I don't think really sees the light of day. And to be able to talk about some of the ones that maybe not be played as often, but we consider the strongest, I think will be a interesting discussion, and maybe that'll change how we'll play them later on.
I'll say one that I'm very fond of that did not get on here for me. I wanted to is Change of Fortune. One cost upgrade that whenever you destroy an enemy during the villain phase, whenever you defeat an enemy during the villain phase, you can exhaust it and draw 2 cards. That's mainly because I like to play very hyper specific no U decks when I played protection. But it just isn't as warping as some of the other cards on here, or as like, ooh, I got this card, I can play this as some of the other ones. Mm-hmm. And Flow Like Water would also go into that bracket for me as well, because they kind of played similarly. I felt like when building these lists, there are some protection cards that I felt like are like same, but not the same. Like all the plus X defense cards, and if you don't get dealt damage, do this other thing over here. Those all kind of got wrapped up into one, and the best one got on the list, and the rest of them just kind of there.
Yeah, I definitely had a theme going on with my protection cards, so that'll probably be pretty easy to sniff out once we start going over these.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First up, we have Counterpunch.
I had that one.
Yep.
Anyone else? Any duplicates?
Nope.
Wow, okay. I'm special. Zero cost event attack. Response. After your hero defends against an enemy attack, deal damage to that enemy equal to your hero's attack. Well, I think they say it in football, maybe bowling. A good offense is a good defense. Maybe switch that around. I think protection is some of the most fun when you can swing back while you're defending. And honestly, for a zero cost event, after you just defend, you can take the damage. You just got to, do the act of defending. And maybe you can hit back at a minion, or, just do a couple of chip damage in on the villain. So I kind of like Counterpunch. Is it necessarily like David said it's great? I don't think it'll reach that height. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad card to run at all. What do y'all think?
I think this is a solid A pick. Because like it lives in a place that you kind of build around it, or you can pick a hero that's really, really good for it. Like if you're heroes that just naturally have high attack, like Hulk, She-Hulk, Drax, Hawkeye, a handful of others. You kind of need to have some base naturally high attack to really, really make it work. Just because protection as a whole does not have much help for your attack stat.
I would like to say that this goes with my honorary card I was talking about. Card, Change of Fortune. I feel like it plays well with that strategy, but I feel like that strategy is just trying to do other things. I think this is something you include in the deck if you need a good, strong filler card. Like
if you don't have your 40,
yeah, this is a go-to. So I think A tier is where it lives.
I can see that.
I'm actually surprised that made on here over Riposte.
I didn't take Riposte off. It was on nobody's list. We'll get to the
Yeah.
card that
Oh, yeah.
took that spot for me on my list. I was gonna originally. We'll talk about that later. Next up is Med Team.
Yeah.
We'll get going with this. So for a 3 cost, you get 3 uses, and you can use an action to take 1 counter off of it and heal 2 damage from a friendly character. Whose card was this?
That was mine.
Go ahead, Luke.
But yeah, so obviously, like what protection could be doing, heal some stuff from a friendly character, heal your allies, heal your buddy. Maybe he doesn't have his, quiver arrows ready and he just decides to keep taking damage and not letting you want to block for him. But I really do think, even though Med Team is a little bit expensive with the 3 cost, but because it is a shield card, I think that's where it shines, mainly if you have a certain Bria Hill or anything that can plus counters on it. So that way you can at least have something on the field to gain a little bit of health back. And 2, recovering 2 damage, I mean, I think that's a fair little bit. If it was 1 damage, I don't think this card would really be worth it. So I think this is kind of a fair card. And I don't think it goes in every deck because I don't think every deck can really support the counters per se, but I think this is a solid little card.
Thoughts, Oscar?
I think it's above A. I think it's S tier because I think this goes in more decks. I feel like this is a card that some people build or you can build around. It doesn't pull you in that much. But where Counterpunch is a card is a filler card that's good value. Med Team is a card that is it's heal 6 over 3 turns, but you can spread it out or dump it into one person. Then it's abusable because of the shield. So I think the shield on this one takes it up 1 instead of down 1, like a lot of the other ones, because the shield is just an aspect on it. It doesn't restrict it.
In my head, right before we started reading over Med Team, I thought, like, this list, I don't think I'm gonna get like upset about anything on this list. Nothing in this is controversial. I think it's absolutely controversial. Y'all do not think this is a David Said It's Great card. This is a David Said It's Great card.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we got one.
It's up there. I think Protection doesn't have a ton of strong cards individually. I think they're all fairly balanced. I think it's one of the more balanced aspects. We can put it in David Said It's Not Great.
Okay, but like, so my argument for it being great is, there are so few ways to heal 6 damage while you're in hero form. Whether you can heal yourself, heal allies, heal other players, and you're not limited by how many of these can be on the field. It is incredibly valuable. Even though it is expensive, it is busted good to me.
It will probably get moved up eventually. We'll get there. We'll put it there for now, and we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Next,
I just couldn't let it pass by without me saying, "Hey, it's actually really good."
I don't know.
It's actually really good. Yeah.
I think there's a couple contenders for that David Said It's Great card on this list, and I kind of want to try to not put every card in it that we hit because they're all just as good. Next up, did either of y'all have Desperate Defense?
I did.
I did not.
I also had it on my list. So, Luke, I'll let you pitch it.
Cool. 1 cost event, Hero Interrupt. When your hero defends against an attack, it negates +2 defense for that attack. If you take no damage, ready your hero. Well, we are in protection. It is meant to protect things. So this is a good way to buff your shield, per se. The +2 for a 1 cost, I think, is kind of what raises this up. If it was a 2 for 2, it would kind of be a little bit middle of the road. Because unless it's kind of late game or you're going against someone who's just swinging way, way high, taking no damage is pretty easy to accomplish. And then after that, you can ready your hero. So kind of I don't know what, net zero, not a net negative. So rest your hero and then ready himself back up for a 1 cost. I thought he was pretty good.
This card is wonderful, I
Okay.
think.
I would like to point out that this is the card I put it in here because there are 4 cards similar to this one.
Yes.
Riposte is one of them, and that's why Riposte is not on here. Along with, I can't remember the other one's names off the top of my head. It's, what is it? Desperate Defense. It's
Desperate Defense. There's I can't remember what it's called. It's the threat removal one. And then there's just the +3 defense one.
It's Never Back Down, Not Today, and I think there's a lot of them.
Yes, there's several of them.
There's at least 3 of them I know, and maybe I think there's a 4th one. So essentially, I like these a lot just because they allow you to defend better, and they give you benefits for defending. So I think this is David says it's not great. I don't think it's like the best card on this list, but I think this set of cards or this style of card defines a good chunk of protection decks. That perfect defense protection deck.
Yeah, but perfect defense. This is really good. This one and Never Back Down are both particularly good in multiplayer defend the table with decks. 100% agree. This card is a staple for a reason.
How do you feel about it being right next to a Met team, though, David? Do you think it deserves the same pedestal?
So honestly, I think they deserve to be right next to each other. And David said it's great.
Yeah, I feel that. I just don't want to put them up there this early. I don't want to set it that high.
Because there's 3 other cards on here that belong there.
David has a preference, I'm hearing. All right. Up next, we have Unflappable. Unflappable is a upgrade, so it sticks around, max 1 per player. You can play it under any player's control, and whenever they make a defense, whenever they defend an attack and they take no damage, you draw a card. I think this goes. I feel like this is in every protection deck that says I'm gonna defend. Like, I think this is the David's not great, said it's great, because it's boring. Because it is a auto include in every defense deck.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. I'm gonna look something up, see if I can get a number real quick.
How many decks run this?
Yes, of how many decks include this one card.
It has to be. So you're talking about all protection decks that have this card in it.
Yeah, so I'm doing a search. There are 385 pages on Marvel CDB of decks that include this card. There's about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 cards per 12 decks per page.
Yeah.
So it's it's around 4,500 decks that run this card. Yeah.
It just says do the thing, get reward. Like it's like go to Walmart, get a free cheesecake. You're gonna do it. So I think it warps deck building. So I think it's the David said it's not great.
David said it is great.
Yeah,
is great.
Is great.
Yeah. It is definitely like it's not one of those like S tier cards that like makes an archetype. It is just, if you're playing this archetype, you're also playing this card.
It doesn't make the archetype, but you can throw it in any protection deck and you'll draw the card eventually. It's also one cost. It's 1 cost card draw. So you can view it as 1 cost resource too. Like, it's insane in comparison. And that's my argument for it being like the tippity top.
Yeah, you defend twice and take no damage, and it has paid for itself.
So for the viewers out there, if y'all couldn't tell that the bar for protection was extremely low and they get a lot of S's off the bat, it's because I don't think any of us are like protection is the greatest thing ever. But when you get into the individual cards, we feel like they're all ridiculous, but they're not. They're actually all
I
well balanced.
I also disagree with that. Protection is my favorite aspect.
You never play it.
Because either one of you is playing it or I have another niche I'm trying to fill.
Yeah, he's experimenting. He doesn't want to break the game immediately.
I'm the filler. I'm the one that says y'all pick what y'all want to do, and I fill in most of the time. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Next up, we have the one and only Shocky Cape or Electrostatic Armor.
Some might say maybe the cousin to Unflappable, because it is also a 1-cost upgrade. Response: after you defend against an attack, deal 1 damage to the attacking character. Now, one very important difference between this and Unflappable is you don't have to exhaust armor. It is just a passive. And that's kind of why I like it. So if you playing a hero, like, I don't know, if you want to do a protection Captain America who can keep defending and kind of has a self way to ready himself back up, just keep on pinging that damage. Just every time you defend, you flip off the enemy and you just do 1 emotional damage every time. So I think for armor, I could argue it's an S. I think it's above Counterpunch. Mainly just because it's just a 1-cost upgrade and you just run and it's a one of. I kind of like it.
I think it belongs in
I think
S.
S is the place for it. Yeah.
Because like it's nice,
think
but
S
it's
is a good
only
place
1
for it.
damage only when you defend. If it was retaliate, it would be a lot better.
Yes.
Yes.
We didn't hire that Taylor. We only got Chip,
Sadly, Electrostatic Armor is better than the Retaliate Protection card we have, because the Retaliate Protection card we have is like, oh no, you have to meet all these other requirements to get it to work. This one's simpler.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have Powerful Punch.
Did anyone have that one?
No.
I did not.
Bet. All right.
You had all the punches.
That was me. Absolutely. Can you see my theme?
Come get these hands.
Yeah. 2-cost event, attack and defense, hero interrupt. When an enemy initiates an attack, deal 4 damage to that enemy. So on the face, seems right? Like you can use it on attack or defense. But for me, this card particularly shines for Shadowcats, because she just abuses the F out of this card. And I think maybe in a vacuum, Powerful Punch isn't necessarily like the best, but for my experience with that hero, this was actually a very, very versatile card that, it deals damage. It's a protect card that doesn't protect. It just protects by whittling the enemy down.
I will argue one, like, I think S is where it belongs for me. It is a protect card because this lets you steal an attack from someone else. It lets you redirect, which is incredibly rare, incredibly powerful.
You're not blocking it, but you are, right?
You can, but like with this, you are not.
Yeah.
Yes, you're blocking a hit for someone else. You play this on someone else's turn. When they're getting attacked.
You're not defending it, but it retargets toward you. Yeah. I think this is S just because it lets you deal that damage. I think it's just better than Counterpunch for one reason, and that's because it's an attack and defense. So there's some characters that care about being both, like multiple things. And I think that brings it up a little bit because it has a little bit more versatility because that's secondary typing.
And because of that versatility, that 2-cost doesn't seem too overpowered, because you don't really have to wait 1 full round. You can do it during your turn or the villain's turn. So it's not necessarily a dead card.
Well, the reason why it edges out Counterpunch 2 is because it has a set amount of damage, so you can play it with any hero. While Counterpunch, it has to be your hero's attack, and so you're split building with Counterpunch between attack and defense.
Yeah.
So
it's a little more reliable.
And Counterpunch requires
that reliability.
You to defend an attack, while this does not. So this is way more flexible. So I think S is where it belongs. Defensive energy.
Hey, that was me again. Uh, when you spin this card to play a defense event, draw one card. So in some card games, deck thinning is deck winning, and well, if you're playing a protect deck, there might be a slight 25 to 75% chance you're playing defense events. In onto itself, is this super strong? Nah, not really, because it doesn't really change the game state, but it does refill you a card in hand, and sometimes Heart of the Cards is all you need to maybe get a lousy play into a good play. Is it S? I don't know if it would be S. I think it would be fine in A. But what do y'all think?
David's not gonna like this. I think this card belongs at top of S. If not, David said it's not great, just because it gets included in the I'm going to block everything I can, no matter what typle. That abuses the desperate defense style cards because they're all one cost. So having the bigger resources doesn't help that deck as much as being able to use this for an event to restock your hand as you play them.
You're right. I think this is low S, not high S. I do like this card. I don't play it. I don't play it enough at all. I should definitely include this in more of my protection decks. I was
In the decks that you put this in, it is immensely great.
it is.
It is.
It is just replacing itself, and that's 100% worth it.
It in defense decks, it's ridiculous just because of the fact that you desperate defense, block it, you draw a card. So essentially, your desperate defense is free. It's while if you get a 2-cost resource, it sucks. I will play this any day over the other resource, the double for protection resource. I will lay that to the wayside for this.
And it also has, because it's a wild resource, if you're running some kind of deck that requires, or a card that requires a certain icon to be pitched, it's got a little bit more versatility compared if there was a lightning or a science on it.
I would argue that this is one of the best resources outside of like the I'm too generic resource or hero specific resources. This is the best aspect resource out of all the aspect resources.
I'm begrudgingly conceding to y'all's points that this is high S.
This is the best resource outside of the generic two colors and
I hate that I'm agreeing
specific.
with you. I hate that I'm agreeing with you on this.
Because this card says if you are playing desperate defense or if you're playing a lot of 1-cost defense events, this gives you a new hand. Like this is unflappable 80% of the time. Except you don't have to be perfect. It accepts you. It takes you into its home.
Well, it flees your home and says, "Hey, would you like to meet my friend?"
All right. So next up we have Thwip. I'm sorry. Thwip. There we go.
There you go. There you go. Exclamation point.
You know
This
whose
is
it
my
is.
card.
100%.
Yes. So there's a hero action. It's a superpower key point there. Deal 1 damage to web warrior you control. And then place up to 2 stun status cards on up to 2 enemies. So this does require you build around web warriors, but those could be allies. And placing 2 stun counters for 2 resources is as cheap as you can get it. The fact that this also helps bypass steady on villains that require you to put 2 stun counters on them to stun them in the first place, and that this can completely lock them up without having to pay extra or work harder. This is a great addition if you're trying to lock down either a broad table or one specific enemy very, very well.
Where do you think it should go, though?
S. Just because you are either playing web warrior when we do this, or you are including web warriors in your deck when you do this. maybe that means it's an A because you do have to build around it. But I don't think that's as hard a thing to do as building around making counterpunch work.
I think it's
Yeah,
above
because
counterpunch, but I don't think it's above defensive energy.
I think
No,
it
absolutely
can
not.
be.
No, no, no. I was thinking low S or high A.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and put it in high A for
Mainly.
now.
Okay.
Okay.
Because that two cost for 2 stun counters for 2 enemies, that's solid. That's a
The
good
other
little
point,
trade off.
it's a superpower, so you can use Death Focus to reduce it by 1. Death Focus is a card you're probably going to include if you have a bunch of other superpower stuff. So there's a pretty common way to make it that much easier to play.
All right, I think we're good there. What about Nightcrawler, y'all? I think I had this one. Did anybody else?
I
I
did,
did.
but I'll let you. All 3 of us did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right.
This was our protection card.
Everyone get in sync. We're all reading this one at the same time. All right, ready, go.
Oh. Yeah, they're just gonna just throw it up there.
Because he counts himself, so you can just pay the 1 and pop him back to your hand. So
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna do this the easy way. Nightcrawlers are 3 cost ally, 2 to work, 2 attack, 2 on the body. And then whenever an X-Men character would take any amount of damage from an enemy attack, spend an energy resource and return Nightcrawler to your hand to prevent all damage. It basically reads pay 4, work 2, or deal 2 damage, and then block an attack. That's it. And it's great. And he's abusable because you can play him every turn.
He is incredibly abusable, just like Mockingbird, who functions very similarly, except you don't have to exhaust and do it first. But like, he is so good. He's such a good ally.
Yeah, especially if you can abuse him. He also has the X-Men type, so there's a lot of ways to help getting him to the field. Plus, he's Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
It's Nightcrawler, yes.
So, top of S tier, done?
I think so. Yeah.
He was number 1 on my list, but you know. Next up, we have What Doesn't Kill Me. Definitely makes me weird.
I know I had this one.
You're the only one.
Really? I'm not super surprised by that. So, What Doesn't Kill Me is a 2-cost event. Where you have to pay at least 1 fist for it. Hero action: heal 2 damage from your hero. Ready your hero. So, I think this may be an A tier one. I would want to put this in S. But it really only belongs in decks where you are trying to ready up your hero a lot, which protection is good at. There are lots of protection decks and heroes that want to ready up so they can swing, or do whatever they're going to do. And healing for 2, kind of like similar to Med Team, healing 2 and readying for 2 is way above cost value. Normally, I think you pay 2 to ready up or pay 2 to heal 2, and you're getting both for this. Value-wise, this is absolutely S tier.
I'd actually like to argue that this is said it's not great tier. Solely because this lets you overextend when defending. So you can defend and go down to like 2 health. You play this, you go back up to 4 health, you're ready, you flip down to your alter ego, you recover. So on average, you get another 3 health. So it allows you to defend and recover on the same turn.
Yeah, totally.
It's one of the few cards that allow you to get that much health back in 1 turn without either having setup or it's that emergency ready. You heal 2 and then you can you can do whatever you want. So I think it's well worth going up above defensive energy just a little bit.
Okay, yeah. I was prepared to lowball this because I didn't think anyone had any faith in it, but like,
No, I did not pick
No,
this
it's
because I have another one I like more, but it's definitely not as powerful.
yeah, but it's come in clutch before a few times because I mean, like I said, if you just need a spam to heal, you just use it to heal 2 ready, and then you recover.
Yeah.
Just get
Well,
yourself that shot.
Specifically, decks like Angel really like this kind of effect. So,
mhm.
Next we have Angel's Airy.
Angel Drax Cap, yeah.
Yeah. Angel's
Good
Airy is a
segue.
1-cost support. After you defend, you put a counter on it. Remove a fatigue counter from it. You heal 1 damage. Remove a no, you remove all the counters from it. Then you remove from an identity. You heal 1 damage for each fatigue counter removed on it. So essentially, this is you can take chip damage as the game progresses, and then you can heal it all back. This does not go in every deck by far. This is definitely a low A. This goes into the Nightcrawler decks that like actual Nightcrawler or the multi-defend decks. I think it goes into Hawkeye. If you build the Hawkeye preparation deck where he just defends a lot. So that way you can go down to really low health and then just spike right back up. But yeah, I think it's an A tier card. It's a thing that you have to include in decks specifically for it. But when you include it, it's there. And you're going to use it at least once or twice in the game. But when you do, it's going to take that place of a major heal where you can come back and not have to go down into your alter ego.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're shooting
and
for.
it also helps. Yeah, it also helps that even though it's called Angel's Airy, it's not character specific. So yeah, like any character can run it. So if you decide to have a hero just take a bunch of damage, well, this, yeah, like you said, will pay for itself.
Any arguments with A?
No, I think
I mean,
is,
I think A is fine, but I don't get this card. Like it's okay, it's useful. I think there are better ways to heal, as represented by our David Says Not Great and Med Team, and a few other ways. Uh, I think this was too much effort for me. This one is too much effort. There's about 3 heroes I would ever think of using this on. Falcon. I would include an Angel, and this has Angel's thing on it. Like this Falcon. This is like a very specific cap deck for me.
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler. Yes, Nightcrawler. I forgot him. There are 3 heroes I glue this in. I don't like this card. I just don't think it's worth it. It's too much work to make it work for me.
It's not doing extra work. It's doing the thing that most defensive decks want to do.
I think it's a waste of a card slot. I would rather have something else in its place.
You're just a sad person.
But I'll let it stay. You said low A. I'm not going to argue with low A, even if I do think it should be a tier lower. I'm not fond of this one.
This is going in every protection deck I ever built now. It's personal.
Yeah.
I will spike build. You know this.
Yes.
Next, I have Pinpoint.
I'm excited to see your spike
build. Pinpoint's an interesting card, I think. 2 cost, 2 health ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack. You can only play if you're champion, so womp womp. But it does have the hero interaction of when a player card will be placed in a discard pile from play, you can exhaust Pinpoint and shuffle that card back into their owner's library. So if somebody has an important card that they have to discard early, you can get that back. Somebody has a support that's very important that gets discarded early, you can get it back. As well as if you have preparation, if you're playing preparations, this goes right in there with it. I think the issue with this card, though, is most of the decks that want to play this aren't Guardian. So this is kind of like you build a deck, you put this in your deck because you know somebody else has stuff they want to cycle back. But as a card in team play, this card's really good in the fact that it just gets your stuff back for you. So if you have key pieces that you discard, you can just get them back in the deck. So that way you don't have to wait for the entire turn order to revolve back around. Which gets really good when the deck gets thinner.
Yeah, but honestly, this card makes me sad. Just because you can only play with your champion, or unless you're planning on finding some way to cheat out, which is hard to do because it's in protection. And I if this did not have that one line of text, this would be absolutely an S tier deck. Like S tier card. This would be David said it's not great all the way. Like I said S tier, I meant top tier. But because of that one line, it limits it so much.
Yeah, that champion really does hold it back. And I think it would be nice because, like you said, Oscar, like early game, it's fine, but then throwing one card back into like a 30+ card deck is kind of sure you'll hit it eventually. But like late game, yeah, she's good. But if there was a way to like really be able to restand her maybe twice to be able to get like a couple cards back in deck, I think that would help her out a whole bunch, even if she still had that champion line. But she just seems a little bit slow.
I think, like Oscar said, this one excels in multiplayer. If you ever get her out, like the amount, I'm not sure. Turn 2, turn 3, it tells the table, hey, throw away your upgrade. Do you use your stuff because you can get it back sooner. I think it's best case scenario, you're exhausting them once a turn to help someone shuffle something back in their deck, whether that's an ally that they normally want to hold on to for another round. It's like, no, just swing with them. You'll get them back. Trust me, it's fine.
With Pinpoint, there's a because it's a Guardian card. The main
champion card.
Champion. It like I said, if the champion wasn't there, it'd be a whole different card.
Mm-hmm.
But because the champion's there, it limits it. I really like this card because it says, hey, it's when your ally dies, put that ally back in the deck. So essentially, if you're reliant on having specific allies out, this gets you there. Like this gets them back into play sooner than later.
Yeah, quicker.
Yeah. Speaking of Guardian card that is not included on this list, this is great pair with Starhawk. Starhawk is a Guardian. It's not Guardian only, but it is. If they take damage from an attack that is equal to the amount of their remaining hit points, I think they go back to your hand. And if you happen to whiff on that, Pinpoint's like, well, soften that blow a little bit. He's going back in your deck. You can get him back sooner instead of just getting discarded.
I think Pinpoint plays the role in protection that no other card does. Of, hey, you messed up, you lost your stuff, get it back.
100%. I want to play Pinpoint more. I just wish we had more options to do so.
I wish we had more Guardians to play. Oh, we're so limited. Champions, yeah. We're just limited on what champions there are. So I'm assuming this is David doesn't get it.
Oh no, this is A tier.
Low A tier.
I think it goes above Angel's House.
Y'all hating on this card so much. Y'all gonna see a lot more of this.
I'm not hating on Angel's House, but look, the rent's expensive. Okay, like that's not really in our forte currently.
The rent's $1. It's all printed on the card.
That's why there's an issue with it.
Hey, look, to be honest, Angel's not paying rent. He's a billionaire. He Warren Industries. He owns like a multi-billion-dollar company at this point.
All right. Next is Anticipated Attack.
I had this one. Did anyone else have this one on their list?
I did not actually. I actually missed this one.
Nope.
So, Anticipated Attack is a 2-cost event. It's a defense event. Play only if there's a side scheme in the victory display. Hero up defense. When an enemy initiates an attack, give your hero a tough status. So, as long as you clear a side scheme, the player side scheme that's in the victory display, which it is not hard to do, especially multiplayer. In solo, it's even easier to do. When an enemy initiates an attack, that attack, if they're attacking someone else multiplayer, gets redirected to you, and then you get a tough status. This completely negates the villain's attack unless they have piercing for 2 to just completely nullify a villain's attack. This is amazing in both perfect defense and defend the table. And it has places in other stuff. Like it's a good filler card outside of those 2 archetypes.
Again, I think this goes back to Pinpoint though. Like, it's very similar to Pinpoint. Is that one line kills it for me? Like, you got to get that first side scheme. Well, you have to have a side scheme in the victory display, which means you have to build your deck around this card.
You don't have to build a deck around this card.
Yeah, I don't think you got to build, because usually defeating side schemes is just part of the game. So maybe
it's
won't
not
go off
defeated.
immediately.
It's not defeat a side scheme. It's have a side scheme in the victory display.
So
Which
how do you
means
get the side scheme in victory?
you have to defeat a
play
side
it.
scheme that you've played most of the time.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
have to have
it-
a side scheme in your deck.
Which anyone that does not regularly run player side schemes, I feel like this is my hot take of this my first hot take of this episode, maybe second, I don't remember. If you're not running player side schemes in your decks, you're building wrong.
I feel attacked.
Yeah, that's a hot take. That's a very hot take. That's wrong.
Most of them cost 0 or 1, and especially in solo, if you're building solo decks, you have to include player side schemes because they're so easy to get rid of. A single ally can get rid of them. If your multiplayer is a little bit trickier, you do have to like work at it more, but it's not like Pinpoint where you can only play this in 4 heroes. You could play this with anyone and it'd be incredibly effective in anyone.
After you
I can
get
definitely see. I can see the potential for it. Maybe someone should make a deck out of Spite, and maybe we can change our minds about it.
I have. It exists.
I just don't like this card. I really don't. Because if you don't hit the other cards early enough, this is a do nothing. Because there's been plenty of times where we
Well,
have
that's
not
true,
gotten
I
just
guess.
them
but,
out
like,
until turn 3, turn 4.
Sure, but like, I don't think this is nearly as niche as you're thinking of. So I will say these cards I think are very, very undervalued because there's one in each aspect, and this is the best of them I think, because the Justice one cancels treachery. The aggression one just stuns an attacking enemy or stuns an enemy. I need to look that up. And I don't remember what the leadership one does because I don't think I've ever played that one. Oh no, that's when allies don't take consequential damage per round. That was actually useful, but I don't like it. This one's really good.
So, where would we say it goes? Do we need to change the bottom one to Oscar doesn't get it for this one?
I don't want to put it that low. Well, yes, we can change it to that, but I don't think. I don't think it
Dave's like,
deserves
this is a
that to be that low.
disservice.
Uh, I think this is mid to low S. I think right where it is where it belongs.
It
to me.
belongs right beside Pinpoint.
That's bullshit.
It is not.
It is so much easier to make work than Pinpoint. Pinpoint is more powerful, but you can only play them in 4 decks. 5 if you're running Maria Hill with the Cersei.
So what I'm hearing is 25 different decks you can build with it.
You can't compare. All right. Do you want me to go back to Marvel CDV, see how many decks include Pinpoint versus how many include Anticipated Attack? I think that maybe we're seeing.
Okay.
I think once anticipated attack is unlocked, I think it's more powerful than Pinpoint. But I think that champion point for Pinpoint is what's holding it back. I don't know if attack is in S, but at the same time, I haven't seen it in action. So bottom S, high A, mid A.
Oh wow. Okay. I looked it up. I have to be honest. Pinpoint is using 7 pages of decks. Anticipate attack is no, sorry, other way around. Pinpoint is using 12 pages of decks. Anticipate attack is using 7. No one uses this card. This is a great fucking card. Fuckers, use this fucking card.
It's because you have
Holy
to.
shit.
You are rolling dice and saying that I'm going to get this other thing out, and then after I kill that other thing, then I can get to this.
It's because everyone undervalues side schemes. Run side schemes. You're building wrong if you're not using side schemes. What is wrong with you people? Run player side schemes.
Okay.
Every single deck. Run 2 or 3.
We need you to stop using the term "you people," especially when you're wrong.
You other deck builders. You're building it wrong.
Now I know.
Okay,
now that sounds even worse.
I need you to stop being an elitist deckist over there.
Look, I can't stop.
I'm gonna have to look through side schemes now.
I think this goes
They're
blood.
great.
This is David doesn't get it because he doesn't get why it's so bad.
Rename that tier. Rename that tier. This is Oscar doesn't get it.
Yeah, I was about to say, David can't control the cursor right now. I can feel the cursor just.
The community doesn't get it.
Damn, dude. Hopping down.
Like,
That was too funny.
okay, David, in all honesty, I do not dislike this card. I like this card. It just seems like it's a hurdle to get over to get it to work. But if you want to test this card out and it's other cards like it, we can throw it in some decks when we start building decks because they're all genuinely at least decent cards once you get it online. So we can test it out. That's part of this. This is a card you like, and apparently a lot of people are like, eh. So we'll give it a shot. Maybe our opinions will change on it.
We do have that upcoming thing at some point where we're playing the Cable runs all the side schemes to get as powerful as possible.
Okay, that's just slanting into its favor, though. I'm over here trying to make peace. You're over here trying to make war.
Is anyone else running our next card in their list?
North Star. He was up there for me. He did not make it. He was in my honorables.
Okay. Since he was in your honorable mentions, can you read him off? I'll come argue his case in just a minute. I got to take care of something real quick.
All right. North Star is a hero, obviously. I cannot read him. Okay, there we go. He's an ally with 3 health, 1 thwart, 2 attack. He's an X-Men. When a boost card will be turned face up during an attack, deal 1 damage to him. Cancel all boost icons on that card. So essentially, you're exchanging damage from a boost icons to 1 damage to him.
I think he's pretty good. I've run him before, but sadly, I've never actually got him to proc off. Because I feel like if you throw him in here, maybe your deck does run either X-Men support, obviously because he's an X-Men, or some way to heal him. Because canceling 3 boost, that's really, really good. Especially since he doesn't have to exhaust.
But then you're just paying 3 to prevent 3 and attack 2. So it's above rate slightly.
Yeah. So I feel like if you can build into him, giving him maybe some upgrades or at least have some way to heal him, I feel in higher difficulty heroes, I think maybe that's where he shined. Because, when we were going up against Zemos and he was throwing bare minimum 5 and any one of those boost cards could have killed us, things like that could help out.
Yeah, I think he isn't highest. I don't think he works, but I think he's a good include but he's
Mhm.
definitely stronger than some other ones. But I think he goes here.
I think above powerful punch is fair.
Um, and since he's not here, I had Ever Vigilant on my list. Um, Ever Vigilant for me is a lot like what doesn't kill me, so that's why I didn't put both of them on my list because I didn't want to put cards that are very similar. They're both 2 cards. They both ready your hero. I prefer Ever Vigilant just because it removes 2 threat instead of healing 2. The downside is it has to be aerial. You have to be aerial to use it, which a lot of
You
characters
like your aerial characters.
have access to aerial. But the other benefit is there's specific cards that benefit aerial. So if you build aerial, you get, I think there's a resource card for it. It's a basic resource where you get to recycle things. Or that might just be Angel because I play Angel as one of my more favorite heroes. So don't quote me. Um, I think this goes up in. I think this goes above Powerful Punch, but I don't know. Maybe it goes down with Flip Flip.
I think down in A, just because a little bit of the aerials holding it back, because like you said, you would have to build around it. The 2 cost is really nice, but the fact that you can run more than just one copy, that also bumps it up for sure.
Um, the Power of Flight is the resource card, which is just double the amount of resources the card generates for paying for a uh my brain's not working. I'm sorry. Uh, the
Hmm.
Power of Flight is just a card that says double the amount of resources this card generates while you're paying for an aerial. So essentially, if you're building the aerial trait, you have an extra double resource card, and most aerial things cost 2. So kind of like where Desperate Defense and Defensive Energy interact with each other, a lot of aerial cards are even costed, so they match up with that resource card. So they work really well with double resources. Um, but yeah, that's. I think it's fine there. I think because it is limited to aerial, it has to go down there because it's not like Nightcrawler unflappable anywhere near that, and Defensive Energy just and the Desperate Defense stuff are just way up top.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's wild that those 2 cards I think should be both moved up a slot.
what?
Ever Vigilance and North Star.
Yeah, I in my opinion, North Star should be in. David said it's not great, and Ever Vigilant should be an S. Just because, even though it is aerial, aerial's easier to get from. Like, I think there's
I think
a,
every guardian has access to it. I think.
Gamora and Drax don't.
Really?
A Groot, yeah, Gamora, Drax, Groot can't get aerial.
Okay.
But like it's still roughly like between a quarter and a third of the heroes can get aerial. And if you're running aerial protection, you're running this. And North Star to me is Davis's not great just because you can include in my opinion, you can include North Star in any protection deck and it makes the protection deck better.
I think it has. I think the cost requirement for some of the protection decks.
Maybe, but like the fact you can like if you're running North Star in perfect defense, uh gets your boost card almost guarantees you get that perfect defense. If you're running it to defend the table, uh even if you don't step in to defend, you're still making them take between 1 and 3 less damage. And then if you pair this with med team, he sticks around the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my opinions on those two.
I think we moved North Star up to the top of S.
Okay.
We don't have a lot of more cards to go through, and I don't want to just have half the cards being the top because you just like protection so much.
Yeah, I love protection.
Ever Vigilant, like I really like the card, but what doesn't kill me is so much better than it on normally. I feel like it being A makes sense. It being low S also makes sense because it is threat removal and protection, which is kind of hard to get.
Yes, that's the other. So, Ever Vigilant is good in multiplayer. You're mostly using this for the ready. In solo, the 2 threat removal is massive.
I can definitely see that in solo.
I think I'm happy with it there.
Okay.
Defend yourself here, sir. This is a largely costly card.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is a
And if the words Marie Hill
100%.
come out of your mouth,
Yeah, I'm not going to. Yeah, I take that back. At some point, I'm going to bring it up. So the Pericles, 6 cost support, shield vehicle, 2 uses, action, exhaust the Pericles and remove 1 supply counter from it. Give a hero or villain a status card of your choice. Give an ally or minion a status card of your choice. So, I'll bring up Maria later. This is an incredibly niche card. This is 100% belongs in A, maybe low A, probably low A.
I think this is just
the
as
thing
niche. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That it beside Angel's Airy belongs together. So in protection, you play this. It's huge to get this out. It's a lot of effort, but you are negating 4 villain turns with this. You're paying 6 to say in solo. Sorry, in solo, you're paying 6 to say villain. You don't do anything for 4 turns because you can give the villain a tough or confuse, and give an ally a tough. So it doesn't activate. Your ally blocks the next hit. Next time you activate it, you give it a tough or a stun or confuse. You give that ally a tough. That's 4 villain activations that mean nothing with Pericles, which for 6 cost is pretty solid. It's just a lot to pay up front, which makes it A tier. In Maria, which I said I was going to bring it up eventually. Most people think if you're playing Maria and you don't include the Pericles, you're playing Maria wrong, because it's once you play it, the villain never does anything ever again.
Kind of like Go for Champions. You just kind of once you get
Yes.
on the field, just easy mode.
Yeah, 100%. Most people that don't include this in the Maria deck are saying, I know I can make the deck better by including Pericles. I'm not, because I don't. I want to provide myself with a slight challenge. So I do think, because canceling 4 villain activations is incredibly powerful, it belongs on this list for that reason alone. It is a lot to pay up front.
I was about to say, getting this out in anything besides Maria is hell in a handbasket.
Yes, you have to work to make this card work.
Which just kind of sucks for her decks. That narrows her decks so much.
Well, some people say it frees her up to do whatever she wants to do, because you include the Pericles. You don't have to worry about the villain. You can build whatever you want to after that.
Yeah, but
That's
you're
the
playing
general opinion on
Pericles.
that. Yes, yeah, 100%. But I mean, you play the Pericles, but then you don't have to do anything else to protect yourself, which is why people.
Which is at the aspect of the game. It's gone.
Yeah, 100%. Which is why I don't build decks with Pericles, because I'd rather do other stuff. I'd rather play the game.
It's good. This is the one Yu-Gi-Oh deck in the tournament that like turn zeros you. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
You know it exists. It's out there. It's just not fun.
And in multiplayer, this is just an okay card at best. This is 100% a solo opinion.
This is the solo. I'm gonna beat everybody on expert. Look at me use this thing deck 30 times.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, yeah.
So I wonder if it'll ever get in a wrap.
You kind of cut out there. What'd you say?
I said I wonder if it's gonna get in errata.
I don't think so. I think because it's 6 cost, I don't think it would get an errata.
All right. I think it belongs there. I think that's fine. And for last and not least, Dr. Sinclair, can you defend this? I need a legitimate argument.
Ooh, that's my card. 2-cost support, Persona Therapist. Not very important, but she has a degree. Alter Ego action, exhaust and spend a science resource. Heal damage from your alter ego equal to your recovery. You may discard 1 status card from your identity. And any player may trigger this ability. So we might know some people who went to school to get a degree, and look, they're just trying their damn best to use their piece of paper that's hanging up on the wall. Some use it better than others, but she's cheap. 2-cost support. She stays on the field. Little limited because of the alter ego action. But exhausting her and spending a science resource isn't necessarily the worst for some. Like She-Hulk, if you want to go a little bit crazy, Bishop. Just because any kind of hero that can run numerous types of what am I trying to say? Energy markers, resource markers. And if for some reason you're going up against a villain that gives out a bunch of status cards, that's her little buff right there. You can get rid of those stuns and confuses. Do I think she's S? No, she's not really high up on Yelp, but like she's reputable, so I think she gets thrown an A.
I do think she's an S. I've never played her. She just came out in Silk, so she's a very new card. I 100% think she's an S, and I should include her more. The fact that any player can pay a science resource to heal for their recovery without exhausting and remove a status card is incredibly powerful. So Night Nurse is kind of the other one that's compared to a lot. Heals 1, and you have to remove a status card. So if you have tough and you use Night Nurse, in order to heal the 1, you have to also get rid of your tough. This one is a May, so it makes it a little more versatile. But I think 100% I need to start running her more on my decks because it's good.
Yeah, and also, if you build slightly around her, aka throw in something like downtime or anything that just gives you a plus to recovery, then that science resource just kind of pays for itself, instead of healing an extra 3, maybe you'll heal an extra 5 or 6. Oscar, any opinions?
I think it's a high. I don't think it goes in every deck. I think it's good. It's the pay the resource. It's the specific resource.
It's that down payment, Oscar. She's got to pay the bills, dude.
I know. That's after insurance.
That is after insurance.
So I think it's low S, high A. Like, it's good. It's a new card. We haven't played with it yet, I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think it takes the role. I don't think it takes Night Nurse away. I think you play this with a Night Nurse deck as a healing deck. I think you see this Med Team and Night Nurse all on the same deck if you're playing that kind of like healing back up kind of.
There's an idea for this deck that I had of around this card where you're playing an X-Men, so you run the X-Jet, and you're running like 3 copies of Honorary X-Men, and you hand them out to everyone else. So then you can use the X-Jet to pay for Dr. Sinclair for other people to be able to activate her.
See, but that's That's a very limited use. Like, let's say you're building a
Oh
deck
no,
around
no.
this.
Yeah, 100%. That was me saying I want to build a hyper healing protection deck based around like not only of that but like other stuff too, like a magic doctor deck sort of thing. Um, but I do not think you have to niche build her. I think if you there are ways to lean into it, and then that was my inspiration for like an idea I've toyed with, hadn't built yet.
I think S is fine. I think S is where she goes. Low S.
Heck yeah. Her Yelp star got 1 extra.
All right. Well, that's the list. Are we comfortable with where everything is for the most part? Besides the hot
think
take
so.
card?
I think everything else looks fine, honestly.
I think it's cool.
I would ask
Cool.
if there's any surprises, but I know what the surprise was, and I think David doesn't like it.